Hey, hi all. Today in this video we will discuss about what are the different lifecycle hooks which we have in LWC, that is Lightning Web Components. So first of all, what is a lifecycle hook? A lifecycle hook is nothing but a callback method which is called automatically at some point during a Lightning Web Components lifecycle. So as we know, the Lightning Web Component, for an example, on a record page, we have a Lightning Web Component. So as soon as the page will refresh or the page will load, there are some of the things which we need to set here, which we need to set it up in LWC component, that we have to use different lifecycle hooks, like the connected callback we have to use to set some of the properties at the initialization stage, and then we have to populate the values accordingly, same as the initialization method, that is init method, which we were having in Aura in Aura components. So let's start. So there are mainly five life cycle hooks in Lightning Web Components, and they are first is a constructor, then connected callback, rendered callback, disconnected callback, and error callback. And they are very self-explanatory, like what they does. So just we will see what they do. For for the first lifecycle hook, that is constructor, this callback method is called as a when the component is constructed. The first statement inside a constructor should always be super. Calling super will provide the correct value for this keyword, which we can use in our LWC. So if we have to initialize, if we have to set any of the private variables that we can do in that constructor, as soon as the particular LWC is initializing, the constructor will be called and all the things which are there in that constructor will be set up for the use. Then the second is connected callback. The connected callback hook is invoked with the initial properties passed to the component. Connected callback on the parent component will be called before connected callback on the child component is called. So first the connected callback of the parent component will run, and then the child components connected callback will run. This callback is invoked after all the public properties are set. Public properties means which are decorated with @API. You can perform some initialization tasks in the connected callback, like listening for events or getting some initial data from the server. So this is like when we want to set some of the details in the particular component to showcase to the end users. At that time we can use it. The next we have rendered callback. As its name suggests, this callback method is called once the component has re-rendered, if some of the properties has been changed or according to the business requirement or the functionalities which we have in the implementation. This callback method will also be called each time the component is re-rendered. So every time the component is re-rendered, for an example, we are saving a record, that particular component is re-rendered or refreshed, then also the re-rendered callback will be called. Re-rendered callback on the child component is called first, and then it is called on the parent component. Because for an example, if we have some data which got updated in the child component, so first the child component will refresh, and then the parent component will refresh if there is any significant impact or any usage or anything which is used from the child component to be used in the parent component. It might be a public property or variable, whatever. Whenever the component re-renders, the expressions used in a template are re-evaluated. So it is re-evaluated every time it is rendering. So next we have disconnected callback. As its name suggests, this will be called whenever the component is disconnected from the DOM. It is mainly useful to clean up the work done in connected callback. And then last one is error callback. This callback method will be called whenever an error occurs in lifecycle hook, and it captures errors in all the child component in its tree. So if we have multiple child components, or there is an hierarchy of parent child and then multiple childs, and in that way the errors will be captured whenever there is any error in the lifecycle hook. So in the upcoming videos, we will see in detail like the five different or the five lifecycle hooks which we have in LWC. What are the do's and what are the don'ts? Means like for an example, we cannot set uh, a public property in a constructor. So in that manner, what we can do in a particular lifecycle hook, or what we have to avoid, or what is the best practice. That all things we will cover in the upcoming videos with an example. So yeah, thank you. Have a nice day.